Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, we were kind of making our way one by one, finding out how each of our heroes are thinking about the upcoming battle and the stakes that are at hand. It's taken us a couple episodes so far, but thinking on it, it's kind of like reading a book. You just gotta take it chapter by chapter. Oh, hey, right back. Welcome to the stream. So, let's see here. Shall we go check on Harrison, Master? He seems like he could use a bit of company. Well, we could save our progress first. So we have the options of going through each of our party members in any order we wanted, and in this last situation, we're specifically talking about Harrison. Makes me think that there might have been slightly different dialogue if we actually, for example, went with Harrison first. Kind of interesting. But yes, let's go ahead and check up on Harrison. Apparently he was there, standing there, listening to Lynn's conversation. Ooh, I hope we get to talk about how he was turned into a chicken that one time. That was a fun part of the game. Michiru curiously says, Harrison, isn't that... Harrison looks down at the object in his hand. Yeah, Jersey asked me to hold onto it for her a while back. It's the magic jewel from the Narakan princess's bow. Ah, yes. The king and queen found the jewel at the site of her death shortly after the Battle of Puescas Lake had ended, and they gave it Jersey as a reminder of Rachel's great courage in defying her killer. I swear there's like some amount of dyslexia in me. Like, how often do I reverse words that I'm reading? Anyway, reminder of Rachel's great courage in defying her killer. Heaven knows, Jersey certainly needed the inspiration at the time. Well, Jersey did say it had served its purpose for her at least after everything she had been through with us, and that it looked as though I should be the next to hold on to the jewel. I don't really know why she said that, but it has made me start to think about how much something as simple as this one trinket brought a lot of delight to one person. Jersey said that, apparently, when Rachel was a child and was first being taught archery. The strange way in which the stone she found would shift between shades of green in color had a way of mystifying her, so she made a request to the king and queen to commission one of the local weaponsmiths to integrate the jewel into the arrow rest of her new bow. I would assume to give it some classy, girlish decoration. In any case, endearing story, I guess. Yeah, and I don't exactly remember this jewel that we were given or when it happened. You were thinking about that? The cute antics of someone you didn't even know all that well when she was a child? You are indeed letting the people of this world influence you quite a bit if you are feeling such sentiments. Light laughter. Actually, I was thinking I would like to meet with Swanir sometime and avenge her murder. Vengeance? Such a concept is lost on the Sylvanians, you know. Before the Dark Lord came to this world, there was never a wrong committed against anyone that would warrant retribution in the first place. Sigh. How such innocence has been lost after the first known murder, that person Vern having taken the life of the girl he was married to. But you and nearly everyone else in this world keep forgetting, Michiru. With all respect, I am not an Elvenian. I am from the Earth. So am I, and I am also looking forward of meeting Swanir face to face and kicking his tail. And that is my point. Michiru is taken aback. Yes, you are right, child. Please go on with what you wish to say. I didn't mean that, wherever she is now, Rachel would even want us to adventure this way, but I think it would, at least, send a message on her behalf to the forces of darkness we've all been fighting that, no matter how weak most mortals like Rachel may seem against monsters like Swanir, the Elvenians do not rail against the threat of evil, nor sacrifice themselves to protect the lives of others in vain. Nice save. Harrison looks back down at the jewel. It would probably settle my feelings about all of Elvenia and all of her people whom I've met while on this journey, anyway. Michiru is thoughtful. I forgot to get another glass of water. Hopefully this one will last until the next episode break. Meanwhile, we have the high-pitched and squeaky voice coming along, undoubtedly Paprika. Knowing that that is the case, I wonder how long I would be able to tolerate a voice like that. I'd probably tolerate it pretty well. It's actually interesting to think that someone that small would have a voice like that. This is going off on a completely unrelated tangent, but, like, there's always these characters who would be, like, getting shrunk, or maybe they are already really small, like we're talking mouse size and squirrel size, and somehow they still talk with a normal voice, and it's like, no, I'm pretty sure whenever you're that small, you would have a squeaky voice. Not to mention, reverse that, and say there is a mouse furry, but they are human size. They probably will be talking in a normal voice, but they still squeak like a mouse. And it's like, no, there might be kind of a squeak, but it would not be a mouse squeak. Anyway, let us go ahead and get back on topic here. We got Paprika coming along. A princess is always worth fighting for in the world of Elvenia, is she not? Even Mr. Harrison thinks this way now, it would appear. Giggle. Hi, kid. Perhaps it'd be a noble cause to appear before that scurvy-ridden ogre serpent on behalf of the good princess he ruthlessly butchered, that he may know others carry the same banner of courage that she did. Even had this last possessed amazing strength and resilience that could have matched someone like Swanir, it wasn't about putting her merciless enemy to the same blood-stained sword that he lived by. No, she wished only to ensure that others as weak as she would be spared from his cruelty by placing her own frail body in the way of his blade as a shield, one of faith, no matter what it would cost her. That was the way of Princess Rachel Etus Foxloon. Paprika tilts her head in curiosity. But it seems what Mr. Harrison means in what he said is that while he's willing to fight in honor of the principles of self-sacrifice for Rachel principles of self-sacrifice for someone like Princess Rachel, he does not wish to lose his own sense of identity as a human of a world that is separate from Elvenia, though he cares for us, I am sure. Perhaps he even believes in what we Elvenians all stand for. But still, he is Mr. Harrison Cole, a human boy with his own life to live in another, faraway land, a sister unbeknownst to Elvenia, almost as though her blood is not inherited from the same mother. Nay? Understanding smile. I think the little girl gets it. Can I just be honest here with all of you? I feel that I already know, child, but please do. Look, everyone, I won't refrain from admitting that I care about Elvina, or that I'll never forget Michiru of all people I have met in this world, for as long as I live. And I also place any beliefs I can have entirely in the same Divine Mother as all of you. But, right now, I just want more than anything to go back home to Earth. The only thing keeping me here willingly is the promise I secretly made to both the Divine Mother and the Holy Priestess, back when I was freed from my curse and met Michiru, that I would help save Elvina from the Dark Lord. But that is all. I stay here out of duty. At least more so than out of love like any of the Elvinians would have in my place. And of course, I do so because I am bound here until Elvinia's fate is decided. Because I have no other choice. Paprika flies closer. It is a little hard for us to accept that you still choose the world you come from over us, though, sir. Not that I cannot understand you. Wipes away a small tear. Oh, did you make her cry? Don't make her cry. And I can expect no more devotion from you. Not when I know that you, a human from an unbelieving world who has never before known that a world of the divine above this one exists, could only have chosen me out of obligation above anything else in this desperate moment. That you have come to love and believe in me as a guardian angel, and look upon our established bond with fondness while you still live. It is enough for me. I always knew I would have to let you go someday. Harrison says with a softer tone. It won't be easy for me either, don't get me wrong. But still, you have to let me go, Michiru. When this is over, if we ever win, that is, and I can finally go back to the real world where my former self left off, I may find that I still need you. But until all of the Earth accepts the light again as we four humans have, I will just have to try to make it without you. Angels cannot go where humans do not want them, right? Michiru says with a sad smile. No, I assume we cannot. We will let you go, Mr. Harrison. But, you know, suddenly it seems like such a hard thing to do when it finally dawns on me that, come this time tomorrow, you will leave Elvina forever. Sniff. You become such an important part of all of our lives, don't you see? William agrees. Aye. I try to understand you, Paprika, Michiru. I try to understand you, Paprika, Michiru. I really do. But in Elvina, all around us are elves and spiritual beings, magic crystals and fell beasts of darkness, blooming meadows straight out of fairy tales and abandoned sanctuaries where mythical creatures sleep. And it just isn't a world I can live in. Maybe humans only made it this way over time, but my world exists in another kind of storybook entirely. And I have always felt that I am a character much better suited to that book. Only you could see it, Michiru, since you have never left my side since that fateful day when we met in Kalinka. But I have been homesick ever since this whole mess started, when Dusk, Uri, and Lin had found me locked away upstairs in that god-awful den. Because it already dawned on me, on Earth, that place was somewhere I had just accepted as another mundane part of my life in which I was forced to grow up and endure a worthless, go-nowhere line of work to afford my way through school. But in Elvina, The very same place had become a literal den of evil where monsters roamed and no normal person dared tread. And it was where I was forced to begin a new life as an unwilling hero in some fantasy world that begged to be cleansed of the darkness it feared. I don't ever want to forget you, Michiru, Paprika, or anyone else I have met in this world, but I just wish it all over, and to return to everything that was once familiar to me. Do you understand? I'll tell you what, I certainly do. This would be a fun world to visit. I don't know, though. Once everything is safe, I might actually want to stay in it. It's a lot more interesting than Earth is, I'll tell you that. Though I would miss video games. Yes. Of course, child. We will wish you all the happiness of the familiar earthly life that you seek to regain. Laddie, you know how much lasses of Elvenia descent trade or tend. Lattices tend to cling steadfastly to those they befriend, especially you otherworldly humans, and are quite persuasive in their own endearing little way. Frankly, you should consider yourself lucky the little fairy gal and the revered emerald goddess were not successful in convincing all four of you laddies to make this world your new home. Paprika giggles, but he convinced me to let him go when it finally occurred to me that maybe there are a few of his adventures that Harrison might not be inclined to recall with such terribly fond memory. No one on that planet called Earth probably would have ever used evil magic to turn him into a beast of many feathers. Makes a teasing poultry sound. Bark, 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 bark. I'm glad that this was brought up. Even though it probably kinda sort of sucked to be turned into a chicken, especially the part where you were actually literally on the menu. But I had so much fun with that. Probably more than I should have. Even Harrison manages to smile. And on that same planet, Earth, Miss Fairy, I might also be inclined to respond to such a joke with swift and blinding violence. Paprika learns the kid like an earthling. Anytime you want a piece, human boy, I'll give you the same beating this old gal gave the Lunas Elru Knights, and they all thought they were so much bigger and stronger. Heart. To be fair, Paprika has death touch. Ahem. I sense this endearing little scene of ours must be drawing to a close at last, Harrison. So please let me conclude by asking you this one vital question. And I want you to be as sincere as you can when you answer, even if you think I may disapprove. Where is it you believe one should consider his true home? Where his heart's longing lies? Or where he is truly reborn, and has many more waiting who all love him as his family? I know that the two answers must each be an analogy for the Earth and Elvenia, and my answer is the latter, where love and especially rebirth awaits a person. Yes, in spite of everything I've said so far, I am being honest in my reply. It is Elvenia. Michiru responds with a stern nod. I see. Remember how you have answered this, son. Your sincerity may save your life someday. It does make me wonder who all will be staying behind in Elvenia when this is over. Because it's been kind of revealed that as soon as this adventure is over, we're going to be giving the world-traveling earrings back to Serena, thus making it so that the world traveling can no longer happen. It also makes me wonder how much family each of our heroes still have back on Earth. We've never actually met them, because we were trying to be protectful of them and not leave the bad guys to them. But it is something that a lot of RPGs don't really bring up. The hero's family. Most of the time, they don't actually have any family. At most, they have a mom. Anyway, if I back out of here, is it going to put me on that menu again, or is it going to go straight to Uri? Well, just in case, I'll probably sit on this screen. Also, I'm going to go ahead and sit there. I'm going to go ahead and sit on this screen. We will be right back. And when we come back from this break, we'll find out how the last of our 4 Earthling heroes are doing.